Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that has been on my radar for a little while. I don't know that these have made their full drop in the US yet, but I ordered these from a retailer overseas. I got them from nclothing.com. This is a Jordan 1 Low in the 85 cut. Even better, this pair came in one of the original colorways from back in 1985, so I'm really pumped to get into this pair with y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these 85 cut Jordan 1 Lows. And one more thing before I get to the kicks, I wanted to give a shout out to a fellow YouTuber, Eddie Wynn. He did a collab with Nautica, and I picked up this hoodie from the website. He did a whole lot of different pieces. They all really have that 90s retro vibe, and the quality of this hoodie is insane. It's a real nice weight. It's finally cold enough that I can rock this thing, but this is already one of my favorite hoodies, and two, it's just awesome to see another YouTuber succeeding like that. So everybody, if you haven't checked it out, check out Eddie Wynn's collaboration on the Nautica website. Because this is the first 85 cut low that I've had in my collection, I want to do a little side-by-side with the standard pair of Jordan 1 Low OGs. I've got the black toes here handy, and I just want to show you some quick little differences that I've noticed. Was it the Heritage Jordan 1 High that had the color blocking, kind of like the Fragment Travis Scott ones? Anyhow, this box kind of reminds me of that. It's just white with the red Nike branding. However, this branding is raised up, so this glossy red finish for the Nike branding, it's all raised. You can feel it kind of sticking up off of the box, but it really has a premium look and feel to it. And I also like that this one is white and red instead of just the standard black and red. Another difference with this box is that it's really small compared to all my other Jordan 1 Low boxes, and I like that because the shoe boxes take up a lot of space, and I do save my shoe boxes, so I like that this one's a little bit smaller, but it definitely just has a feel that it's a little bit more premium than what we usually get. And just a quick comparison in size, this is my black toe Jordan 1 Low shoe box, which is as big as what like Jordan 1 Highs come in. They don't need to make them this big, but this is the black toe Jordan 1 Low, and this is my 85 cut low. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Low 85. The colors are Summit White, Light Smoke Gray. I always want to call these just neutral gray because whenever they released the white and neutral gray pair not long ago, that's just what everybody called them, and this color scheme looks exactly the same. I did notice though that Summit White has a little tint to it, so I'll point that out to y'all as well. I ordered these from Nclothing. They were running a special where they were doing free shipping. They were charging 169 bucks plus tax on them. I think I paid around 180 all in, which I don't think is bad. I think when they drop in the US here, they're going to be $160 for retail. And enough of the box talk, let's get into these kicks. I am a huge fan of this pair of shoes. I know that they just did the neutral gray Jordan 1 Lows, I think maybe a year or so ago. However, I like these more than what I like them. They do have a heavier kind of leather on them. That being said, this leather is absolute butter. A lot of times people aren't too fond of the leather on the high 85 cut Jordan 1s. This leather is very, very soft. You get nice ripples on it, and it is just a premium material in my opinion. So I'm really happy with how these came out. One critique I have with this pair is just they should have done these in the spring or early summer, because for me, whenever I look at this, I feel like this is a shoe that I will rock in the nicer weather, and with this being the fall going into the winter time, I do not want to be wearing all white shoes right now, and if I do, they're going to be beaters. But this pair definitely has a more premium feel to it, and I even think that looking at them, you can tell that they're top shelf. So I don't want to wear these through all the slush and the salt and that kind of stuff. So I probably will just keep these on the shelf until the weather warms up. But that being said, that's my only critique. I think these things are really, really good, and I'm definitely pumped that I grabbed a pair. I'm not entirely sure when the US drop will be, whether it's dropping on sneakers or the Nike app and that kind of stuff, but I have seen where they dropped on sites like Extra Butter. I think somebody said that they dropped on the Union website not long ago. So these are rolling out to US retailers, but I just don't know when the official date for the full US drop is. Real quick, before I get into the full review, I just want to point out a couple of things that stuck out to me as different. The first thing is the number of holes for the laces that it has. The 85 cut low has one extra lace hole going up the end compared to the low OGs. On the 85 cut, there's 8 lace holes, but on the OG, there's only 7. It might be harder to see on this pair because it's black, but take my word for it. Another obvious difference that I saw is just the shape and the texture on the midsole. The texture on the 85 cut midsole is much more defined and much more evident. However, the OG Jordan 1 Low has just almost like a flatter texture to it, and it's not as noticeable. This has a sail midsole, I think, just to hammer home that vintage look, and this is bright white, but I'm not saying that every 85 cut Jordan 1 Low is going to have a sail midsole, but I do like that on this pair. The midsole looks a lot more wavy on the 85 cut, like it's lower in the front and then it comes up higher as it goes back. It's almost got like a visible slope halfway back the shoe on that midsole. On the standard Jordan 1 Low, it's just a straight line. Like it gradually gets higher in the back than what it is in the front, but there's no slope that you can see. It's just like a straight line going back compared to this one, which actually has like a slope there at the midfoot. Another thing that's way better about these 85 cuts is I think they're going to be a whole lot more comfortable on foot. There's a ton of cushioning going along the collar. On the inside of this shoe, they just feel like they're really, really padded, and I like that. But on this standard Jordan 1 Low, it's just got a really thin collar up here. It almost feels like there's no cushioning going along this collar, whereas this one has a ton of cushioning. You can even see the difference there. There is a slight difference in the tread pattern between the 85 and the standard Jordan 1 Low. One of them being the pivot point of the 85 is a whole lot smaller, and then even the lines coming off of them are different looking than what the lines coming off of the pivot point of the standard Jordan 1 Low are. What might be the most important difference is the fact that this outsole, whenever you look at it in comparison to the outsole of the standard Jordan 1 Low, is way more narrow. Not so much at the front of the shoe, but going back to the middle of the shoe, it's a lot more narrow on the 85 cut, and I've found that to be true for the Jordan 1 highs as well. And I'm not certain I'll be able to get you a good angle of this, but I lined the back of these up perfectly, and you can see a lot of overhang from the standard Jordan 1 Low compared to the 85 cut Jordan 1 Low. So that just further proves that the 85 is going to be a lot more narrow. I do have a wide foot, so that might seem concerning. However, at the front of the shoe where the toe box is, it's pretty much just as wide as what the standard Jordan 1 Low is. The narrowness comes further back on the foot, so I don't think that's going to affect me. And two, the leather, although it's thick and heavier than normal, it is a really, really nice material, and I think it's going to break in just fine. So even if they are a little bit more snug on my fat feet, I think that over time they will be more comfortable. Just like the 85 highs, this has like the style code and the size right on the inside of the sock liner up here. And for standard Jordan 1 Lows, we don't see that. And let's do a quick rundown of this shoe. We have this nice gray outsole. It's not neutral gray. I forget what they said it was on the box, but it looks just like neutral gray to me, and I really like this color. It's a classic looking outsole, very, very close to the Jordan 1 tread patterns that we're used to now. And then, like I said, this midsole does differ from your standard Jordan 1 low midsoles. It's got the different shape because it's an 85, and it's also got the different texture. But what I really like about this midsole is that it's that sail or off-white color, and I just think it complements this white and gray upper very, very well. It does give it more of like a vintage look, and I'm all about that. I think it looks dope. Along with liking the vintage shape of these, I really like this material that they used for the upper. The whole base of the upper is this really nice white leather. It's a crazy thick cut. I'm not sure if you can get a good angle of it there on the toe box, but it's a really, really nice cut, and it really feels like a premium, genuine material. It's not super soft. It doesn't have a whole lot of give like the Black Toes does, but I think that's just because the leather is thicker. And I think the quality of this is better than what the quality on the Black Toes is. I think it's better than the leather quality on the light powder blue Jordan 1 lows that I have on feet as well. I think this quality is phenomenal in my book. We see those perforations like we're used to getting on Jordan 1 lows and highs. And overall, this white leather just has a really smooth finish to it. It doesn't have a lot of texture. I don't know if you're able to see or not, but whenever you press on this leather, you get a lot of nice little ripples. And I just think these things are going to age really well, and I think they'll last for a long time. For our swoosh, that's in a nice light gray color, and that is a suede. It feels like a rough suede. It doesn't really feel premium or anything like that, but I think it looks really, really nice on there. And then we also have that same gray suede for this heel tab area. And I didn't really pay attention if this Wings logo is different than the standard Jordan 1 low. It looks like the Wings logo is bigger on the 85 cut, but they're very, very similar. I don't know if anybody would really notice a difference unless you pointed it out to them. Another thing that feels more premium with this pair compared to the regular Jordan 1 low is the tongue. I'm not even sure how to explain it, but it's just got a different feel than the standard nylon tongues that we're used to getting on modern Jordan 1s. It feels like it's a little bit more padded, and I just think that it'll be more comfortable on feet than what we're used to. It has the same look. It's white. It's got piping going along the edges, and it's got a white tag with gray Nike Air there at the top. Also, just for your reference, this is Summit White, which has a little bit of like a grayish, almost like a bluish tint to it. And this is Bright White. So hopefully you can see the difference there. I'm not sure if you can see the difference in those whites or not, but this 85 definitely has like a bluish or gray tint to it. Our sock liner is light gray, and like I noted earlier, it's got that style code right inside of the sock liner up by the collar. They gave us some flat white laces in there. I bet they'd look really good with sail laces or gray laces, but these only came with one pair. I'm not sure if I'll change them or not whenever I go to wear them, but you definitely have that option. And then the insole is white, and it's got some gray Nike Air branding down on it. But that was a quick look at these Jordan 1 lows in the 85 cut. I'm really loving this pair. I'm glad that I secured my pair early. I'm not sure when this drop is coming to the US, but I'm telling you, don't sleep on these. It's a really, really good pair. Let me know what you all think about these, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.